What is going on, All Terrain Nation? Whether it be two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, or these badass cars and trucks we all seem to love to drive, this is your All Terrain Nation. I'm your host, David Boyd, and Kelly and Allie will be here in a little bit. They're both running late, and it's a Dave show right now. So I hope everybody is having a fantastic Monday because it was 75 degrees here in Middle Tennessee, and I was loving it. It's awesome. And then Thursday, it's in the 20s. So somehow winter's now going to be here officially this week. So I'm going to be kind of bummed, a little pissed off, but it is what it is. And so we got to wrap up all of our car projects. Me and Kelly, we've been working on some car projects this week. And yeah, been trying to get some stuff knocked out, some stuff put back into the Bronco. We took a lot of the mods out that we had in Rebecca the Bronco, and we pulled a lot of those. Some of those stayed with the vehicle, and tonight I'm drinking Angel's Envy, which I haven't had in a while. And I'm kind of excited to have a snoot of that. But yeah, so we've been trying to get with the weather. We know the weather was going to be bad, so we've been trying to get anything wrapped up car wise that we needed to for a while. And I do have, my dad has a big shop that I can go to, but it's not really conducive to filming because, well, it's a 30-year-old shop that my dad has. It looks all 30 years old, just stuff piled everywhere. And I don't know, it might be fun for filming, might not. We might see this winter, but we've got some things we talked about the Nov site lights that we got to put on. We've got some other stuff we're going to put on the Raptor, and we're getting it ready for Supercell East. So a little bit of Bronco news there, and we're pretty pumped for that. If you guys are new to the channel, Supercell East, it's in Townsend, Tennessee. We have lots of fun there. It's just to kind of get together of Broncos. A lot of aftermarket companies show up, and it's just a lot of rides, just a lot of people chilling, having fun. Big field, and it's a blast. So you guys should come out there. It'll be in April, I believe, is the date. And if Allie and Kelly were here, they'd keep me straight on that. But anyways, or maybe B team in the background there will pull up the actual dates. But so that's kind of where we're at, man. My yard is a mess. I've been trying to work on. If you watch the video, we did the rally top, and a lot of fun, but a lot of cleanup for that because everything was in boxes. Just the big crate that it came in. And with Kelly and I traveling with the little one, we've been doing a lot of softball here lately, and we just honestly have no time to. My house is a wreck. I scrambled working on the studio trying to get this updated, and well, yeah, now it's time to get things in order. Rob, thank you, sir. So the 423 through 426, and we'll be over there just ever so slightly early. And I gotta mute my B team. They're dinging. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not, but they are dinging over there. And so let me do this because they're trying to be producers now, so I got to show them some love and throw this up there. So this is Supercell. If you're new to that, even if you're not really a Bronco person, it's just if you like cars and trucks and stuff like that, go to any of these auto events. They're a lot of fun. There's always that old timers, which I'm guess after this week I'll be that old timer. I turned 50 years old this week. I can't believe that. But yeah, go to these car shows, have a lot of fun, especially if you're new to there's the Jeep Invasion in East Tennessee. There's Jeep events everywhere, and Broncos are starting to pick up with it. But if you ever want to, like, what's it like to own the vehicles? What do people do with the vehicles? Any of these events are always a good time to check out there. And thanks B team for that. Let's see. You got fired from on the air? No, I didn't say you guys. If you wanted to come on in. I can bring you in. But I really like the car communities, especially in truck communities. There's such great people, and you're going to find there's always an asshole in the group. We know that. That's how it is. There's always going to be somebody that just, you don't get along with, but that's pretty much everything in life, I think. But let's see here. Do some backdoor dealings over here. Throw that up in there. Oh, well, thank you, Laura. Thank you. It is 50 years old, man. I can't believe it. 1974 is when I was born. Crazy story. My mom was learning to ride motorcycle. She wrecked the motorcycle like 3 times. It was a crazier time. I don't condone it, but she was pregnant with me. She fell down a flight of stairs as well. I think she was clumsy is what I think she was. I don't know what was going on with me when I was trying to be born, but yeah, and then I was a Scorpio. So, and come to find out after you get in the dating world, you're like, why do people hate Scorpios so bad? But anyways, that's enough of solo Dave Marital Nation. Let's see what we got all in here tonight. We got Hypermotive Racing. We got Rob Hallmark in the house. Jason Folds is in the house, or Jonathan. I'm sorry. Let's see. Alcione Ford. Alcione Ford is in the house. Appreciate you guys coming in here. And I don't know why my cameras are going so dark tonight. I don't know what is going on with my studio? It's the camera itself. Let's see who else is in here. We got Mark King in the house and Ford enthusiasts in the house so far. We got, of course, 21 of you in here. If you guys would smash that like button for me, I'd greatly appreciate that. And I hope, with wrapping up on car projects, I hope that you guys finish up whatever you got going on, whether it be car or truck, just even general maintenance. I tried to get oil changes and stuff out of the way, even if it's a little early before the weather hits here. And not that in Middle Tennessee we have, we do get a little bit of snow and ice, mostly ice, but I just don't want to be outside. And our garage right now is turned into our daughter's workout gym for softball. So she's been doing a lot of training for that. So I don't even have that anymore. I even cleaned it up so I could have a garage and then lost it. It's crazy how the women in my life do that. But it's Monday, and I want to say cheers to everybody out there. Rob Hallmark's getting a new winch on Friday. Nice. Rob, what are you going with? I'm curious what everybody's going to. We were at Harbor Freight the other day, and they had I forget what they call the Badlands, I think it is. They had that on sale, $599, 12K winch, big old winch in that thing. I see a lot of people are putting them in Broncos now. If you're new to off-roading, you want at least 1.5 times the vehicle's weight. If you do plan on adding weight to that thing, you're going to want to maybe go double the if you can, or like a 12,000 pounder. Just finished Walter in Las Vegas, who I didn't get to chat with. I seen your vehicle, Walter, but I didn't get to chat with you. I spent way too much time with Bronco because I was just drooling over what they had done. Of course, Walter, your wife, I believe it is, has an amazing looking Bronco. But sway bar links, huh? That's always fun. Alcione Ford says Warren. Warren is a good deal here. And there's my better half, Kelly Boyd. Hopefully I'll see her soon. Let's see. Overland vehicles. Let's see. Wait, you guys are starting to chat too much. Overland vehicle system scar winch. Nice. I'll have to check those out. Check those out. But if you saw the thumbnail tonight, we're going to talk a little bit of Jeep and Stellantis issues because, well, there are a lot of those right now. And interest rates, I think, have been the biggest. The biggest is if I could talk tonight, I don't have enough whiskey in me. Interest rates, I think, right now are just the biggest issue in the car industry. Stellantis is talking about laying over 1,000 people off at the Toledo plant there, which is concerning because that means Jeep Wrangler sales are down a little bit as well. Of course, Wrangler's still going to sell a ton, but it is concerning with the Gladiator sales kind of dipping below there. So that's always fun. But did you guys see that Ford was in the news? Let's see if I bring this little news up here. See it, so I'm gonna have to find the link ever so quickly. Let's see, Ford. Oh man, before Performance was in the news, they racing, I believe it was Baja this week. And, I believe they won both their classes. Let's see here. I need Kelly here. Still ain't got my deal just where I want it just yet, but here it is. Bring some news up for you. And of course, you guys know I've been a big Ranger Raptor guy. We had a Ranger Raptor for 5.5, 6 months and really enjoyed that thing and hated to sell that. But as you can see here, Ford Performance conquers the 2024 Score Baja 1000. Last wins for Bronco, DR, and Ranger Raptor, which is the Bronco DR. Ford was pretty cool with their social medias. They were posting live video of this thing when they were testing these early last week before the race. It was really cool to hear the big V8 in the DR was really inspiring. seeing the Raptor just, just go out there and kill it, that's awesome as well. Of course, you can see the looks like the Ranger Raptor right there. I do love the scheme they did out there. If you guys are ever follow Chase Gentry, he was got to embed himself with the Ford Performance crew out there, which is pretty cool. But I will give it to this. Ford, when the Raptors, to have the Raptor name, it has to be Baja proven. That's one of their mandates, and they don't seem to scare away from that. Of course, the Ranger Raptor there has been, it's built for racing, but it's fairly, they can't do too much with it because I believe that was in a stock class. But pretty freaking nice there. And I'm always happy, I'm not a Ford loyalist by any means, but I do love when they go out there and have a lot of fun, especially when they're killing it, especially for vehicles that I've owned. And I don't know if you guys, there is some pride to that. There was always that whole NASCAR thing of, if it wins on Sunday, sells on Monday. Definitely, there's definitely in the aftermarket or the off-road market, whether it be aftermarket parts or whatever. Definitely, when you see the parts on these vehicles, you want to have the same parts if you can on your vehicle. It's inspired, it's badass. It's knowing that I could take the Bronco Raptor that we currently own, and I could go out into the desert and beat on it and feel comfortable doing it. And we've done it. Me and Kelly have done that, which is great. We took the old Ford invite us to Raptor Off Rodeo about 2 years ago now, a year and a half ago, something like that, and beat the piss out of the Bronco Raptor, which is what inspired us to buy one. The time was right for us. The deals are right on these things right now. And Laura, I'm saying like you, I thought you guys had some hell of a deals on Bronco Raptors with our friend there at Alcione Ford. Now the 24s are going. I've seen 15,000 off for. So if this time is right for you, if you want to own one, interest rates should be coming down. I've seen the Fed was starting to lower rates a little bit. So it is nice to know that I think Ford realizes, because I've seen some for around $74,000, and that's where they were priced initially. So I think Ford goes, okay, we know we priced them. We overpriced them once everybody was overcharging for these things. And I think that they can take that hit and go, well, you know what? We were going to make money at 72 to 80. We can still make money. Let's go ahead and discount these things and help dealerships out, which is it's a big deal. It's a big deal. Yeah, Rob, Baja 1000 wins for Ford, which is freaking great. Yes, had our Raptor 24, had, and I would own one again in a heartbeat, especially in the new ruby red. Oh, that color is so great, man. Um, let's see. Ford enthusiast says, Kelly, I hope you're doing well. She is. She's doing well. She, once again, like she did last week, she had some meetings that she had to go to, and she's trying to run back here. And good evening to you, sir. Good evening. Walter says, rumor has it Jeep is going to China. I don't doubt it. With Stellantis being a global turd company, I hate to say that because I have good friends that work for this company and people that I admire that work for this company. Management is not on that list of people I admire, but it wouldn't surprise me at all. Mustangs went that way. Mustangs in Europe now. They're going to Australia. They want to sell cars, and it's getting harder than ever to, like you take Mustang and Camaro, like those were just rag cars, especially in the 80s, and they're kind of their peak heyday of the pony cars. Like everybody in my neighborhood they wanted an IROC, or you wanted a GT, you wanted the 5 liter, well, what they called a 5 liter, and everybody wanted those cars. And well, sales figures here in the United States aren't what they should be. And I think that's a lot of it's due to there's so many vehicles to choose from now. If you think about it, in my heyday of the 80s and 90s, when I was just a young pup, really hoping I could afford my dream car, you look, those are really the heyday of American automobile sales and sports cars. And, you had the 3000 or 300ZX that was way overpriced for the time, but it was selling. You had the Camaro ended up disappearing for a while, but came back, and there was so much to choose from. And now there's so much good stuff to choose from, whether it be if you're into the Hyundai Ioniq 5N, which is, just a badass EV if you want something sporty, and it's got 4 doors, which is When I was a kid, complete difference. You wanted a coupe. You did not want 4 doors on that. But I think the competition's better than ever, and I think it's kind of hurt some sales. And I think with you look at Jeep really had their own segment to themselves. Even though I know Toyota with the 4Runner, a lot of people like to go, well, 4Runner played in that category. They did, but they didn't. Let's be honest. The 4Runner it was its own thing. 4Runner battled Xterra, couple other things, the Isuzu, maybe the rodeos at the time, but they never tried to fully play in where Jeep was, and Jeep had that category since I can remember. I know like Isuzu had the Amigos, stuff like that. There was a the Geo, not Metro, the Geo Tracker. There was the little Suzuki stuff that tried to take on Jeep, and just in the mid early 90s, we got in that kind of recession area, and they all just disappeared. And so, and Isuzu before GM just butchered that company, they were making some fun stuff. They really did. They did a second generation of the Amigo, a little bit bigger, a lot more power. Still had that removable top, which I think I talked last week about the Toyota Rocks that we saw at SEMA, the Land Cruiser Rocks with the open air concept. I think that you can just make the roof solid, make the back open like they used to do with the Amigos and stuff. I think people would eat that up. But Jeep's had their own way right now, and with Bronco coming, we do know that there is another 4Runner coming. Like I said, I think they sort of play in the playground. They don't. I think Jeep's got a lot on their hands, and of course, if you guys don't know, like Ram, Jeep, Chrysler was purchased. Fiat bought them. Well, actually, Daimler Chrysler owned them for a while. They've been tossed around a little bit. Then the Fiat Group bought them, FCA, and then they turned into the megaturd conglomerate that they are. And we talked a little bit a couple weeks ago about what a conglomerate is. And there's too many brands. And I think at some point, Walter was talking there about there was a rumor that BYD would buy Jeep. I don't see that at all, because why I don't see that right now is Jeep and Ram are the only profitable vehicles that Stellantis makes. Everything else really isn't that profitable, if at all. So they're going to hold on to those as long as they can. And I would think you would want Jeep and Ram to be a package deal if you ever sold it off again. But it's clear through all this, is we'll bring up the Gladiator here. It's clear that my little buddy here, that the Europeans do not get this. They don't understand off-road vehicles, and unfortunately for Jeep, they've had a lot of hard times as a company. You look at the 70s stuff, that early to mid 80s stuff was just garbage. And I mean, I owned, they get bought out by Chrysler, and then the YJ came out with the square lights, which freaked everybody out. I liked it as a kid. But the YJs were just a parts bin of every manufacturer's. The steering column was GM. There were some Ford parts in this thing. There was definitely Chrysler had it, but they were bankrupt. They just couldn't afford to do it all themselves. And when Chrysler kind of took over, and Lee Iacocca kind of was changing the industry just a little bit, and it really helped save some of these brands and turn it around. Of course, the biggest thing for Chrysler at the time was the minivan. The minivan saved them like nothing else. And then they had some exclusive government contracts because they were going to go bankrupt, which helped. If you ever look at the old 70s, 80s pickup trucks, the old Ram Chargers and stuff that they used to have, and all that stuff, definitely the military kind of helped save them as well. But it saddens me. It really does, because we owned, I don't know if you're new to the channel, but we had a Gladiator. I have a 2021 Gladiator, and I love the thing. Now, was it the best driving midsize truck ever? No, not at all. But I did. I really did like the vehicle, and it really saddens me that somehow, some way, that the Europeans, their lack of understanding about these things, have just sort of starting to hurt these things. Now, this is the 25 page for Jeep. And Allie, anytime you want to come in, you're welcome to pop in whenever you want to.
Hey.
Howdy, Allie. We're talking your favorite brand, I can tell. But the 25s, the Gladiator.
How much they suck? I'll talk about that all day long.
Oh well, we can bring in some Bronco problems too that they're having. But I will say the Gladiator was pretty cool because people had been wanting, there was a AEV had done some Jeep truck stuff, and it was overly priced. It was expensive, but people bought it, not thousands of them, but they did buy that vehicle. And when the Gladiator came out, it was kind of like, oh, isn't that cool? Now they do look a little strange because of the mandate. They wanted a 5-foot bed in this thing, which makes it awkward till you lift them up very high. If you see like the basic kind of sportish overland they do, it looks weird on street tires, on those bald looking street tires. They just look goofy, but it was fun. And then it was like maybe the perfect timing because, a lot of you guys came through because of Bronco talk that I was doing. The pandemic comes through and just that nobody could buy anything. The Bronco just wasn't ready to be purchased yet. The Wrangler came out in 18, so it was a little couple of years old, and Gladiator took off for a little bit. And I'm sure Allie, you remember probably seeing them running around testing a little bit. I'm sure they're on
Mhm.
your areas. I'm sure.
I mean, honestly, that's the one thing I love about living in Michigan. Is we
It's
get
not
to
the
see
cold weather.
No.
But yeah, so Allie gets to see all the cool stuff, before everybody else does. They're out there testing, especially going towards where Allie lives,
You
where
want to
there
say
are
hello?
fewer people. Hi, Maya. She's like, no, I'm hiding from the camera now. But with this was kind of new, and it was a Spark, and Wranglers they couldn't keep enough Wranglers in house, but they had all these Gladiators there, and it took off. And I think in its peak, it took off in 89,000 of these things. I know Maya wants a Jeep. See, I can hear her. She's talking about it. But I thought I was told by industry people, and I think Esterthal over at Pickup Truck Plus SUV, me and him were talking about this thing, and he told me back then, he goes, Dave, this is a one and done. There's not going to be a second generation of this vehicle. And I was like, no, people like these things, and I see them everywhere in my town. But
Well,
if you look at sales figures, Allie,
my favorite part is there's like three people I was talking to, like, let's say like 4 months ago, maybe. And they were like, oh, we're just gonna wait for like the Bronco pickup truck. And I'm just like, it's not coming. Like,
no. They looked at it twice. They've looked at the Bronco or the Gladiator twice. Ford has to build something, and they've just no.
Well, like, not only will it mess with it will mess with Ranger sales.
Yes,
but they saw how bad it was tanking.
Yeah, well, but which in Wrangler sales, let's be honest right now, aren't setting the world on fire. So that's the last thing Ford wants to do is, hey, let's go tamper with that. And I mean, Ranger is selling okay, but they don't want to.
Okay.
They knew that was coming, so they don't want to tamper too much with that.
Yeah.
Though I've said it many times, I would be all in on a Bronco truck. I like it, but I think the way to do the Bronco truck is the 2-door. Just make a little 2-door that you can do with a little bed on it. That's not practical by any means, but I think that would have been a cool if you did a heritage version. Do a run of that. Do a couple years of that, and I think they would sell. But like this, I think after a while, people would be like, it just doesn't work for my lifestyle.
They need rebates. That's true.
Yeah, they need rebates. Well, everybody I think needs rebates right now. But I really do. I think the idea of this thing was fun. It was, and I think Jeep, when Jeep wants to market something, they are the best in the industry. I mean, look at the little red tow hooks they do. Like they accent stuff that most companies will want to hide. And they've learned, oh no, let's showcase that it's an off-road badass. And their PR team, when they came with this, I forget who the head of Jeep at the time was, but in the marketing of this, when they revealed this, it was, hey, why didn't you guys put 35s on it? Why didn't you do all this on it? And he was like, we know our client base. They're going to take it to the tire store as soon as they buy it and go put tires on it. And they made sure you could put a 35-inch still under the bed and stuff. Like they do such great things, but they're just sadly hindered by the European market, the European management style that does not understand off-road. And I think that's why you don't really see Bronco in Europe. I just don't think the people would understand it.
No.
They're car and they're hot hatch people. I know Australia right now is getting full-size trucks are starting to go down there, and it's a love or hate it thing. It's people think they're just monstrosities, they're overly, huge, and maybe the way you save this though is make it a global. I know it is in Europe a little bit, but maybe you just, hey, let's send it to England, let's send it to Australia, let's take it to Indonesia. Let's really see if this is globally a platform.
Yeah.
Allie, I seen, we'll get back to Jeep in a minute, but I seen Bronco order banks are open now. Has there been big interest on 25s?
Yeah, I have 7 orders on them
Nice.
already.
What are they going for? What trims?
1 Big Bend, 2 Badlands, 3 Strops.
Really? Even at that price? Wow.
Yeah, but the 3 people that I have like committed, like they're doing it because of the heritage.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing it because they respect the car itself and the Strop family.
Yeah.
I mean, like, one of them's Bronco Graveyard. Like, they're going to get one. I feel like they kind of have. I feel like they kind of have to. Like, can't just like talk about it because like they have other ones and stuff, and like they're gonna decide when it like gets in. But I'm like pretty sure that they'll do it, type of a thing. But the other one, met him in Tennessee. Super nice guy. And like he's excited for it. He goes, hey, he's like, and he's kind of an enthusiast. He has a bunch of cars. He like messaged me everything he's kind of had. Super nice guy. Is like super excited for it. He's just like, hey, you've done a lot for like the community. He's like, I just want a chance to buy one from you, and here you go. I know Cole kind of wanted one. So I do have to reach out to him to like verify, just because it is a little bit more than I thought, but I'm also not surprised.
Right.
At the same time, just because it does kind of take place of the 2-door, and that's kind of where limited heritage was.
Yeah.
So again, not fully surprised, but at the same time, I'm just like, it's still a lot of money.
Look, Laura, you can't have every vehicle out there.
Seriously. Drive the heritage that you have. Seriously.
Right. And Laura, I'm curious, did you sell our Bronco yet? She texted me the other day and said she had somebody really hot on it. And I'm curious, do you sell the Ranger, the Raptor? If you're interested in either one of those, Alcione Ford in Illinois, they have our previous 2 vehicles there for sale. And they had on the Bronco is a pretty good deal on it right now. So you might, if you want a 2.7, I know it needs to be checked. Some of those are on the recall list because we were early 2.7, but
well, like, and that's the thing. They need to be tested. It doesn't mean that the engine's bad.
Yeah, they just
and that's the thing. Like, okay, let's say that it is great.
Oh, hot button! Here's hot button topic for Allie.
Like, great, you get a new engine.
Yeah.
and like especially if it's almost out of warranty, or even if it is out of warranty, like it's still a recall. Your VIN still has to be checked regardless. Like, I don't know. People are just fun.
Yeah,
people are fun.
Just let's see. Ford Enthusiast says, sorry, the Strope edition is pretty pricey. It is. It is that
right? It's Strop, not Strope.
Hey man, I'm never gonna get it right. I'm sorry. I even said it in the video, my WTF video I did on that thing of like, hey guys, right at the get go, I was like, Strope. I'm gonna butcher this, so just hang in, strap on, let's go. Let's just stick with me. Let's see. Walter says, will we be going to United by Bronco next year? Probably not. It's not because I don't want to. It's because it's so far away from me in Tennessee that till this is a full-time gig. When this is a full-time gig, I'm traveling everywhere. I'm covering every event. But till this is a full-time event, unfortunately, I have an employer to deal with. And they've been all very cool with me. So I don't want to stress my employer currently.
Same. I can't. I've had 2 people ask me if I'm going to United by Bronco. I'm like, I can't get my social media to take off at all. So the answer is no.
Yeah, I've done well, and I've done well with other people's vehicles because I did a couple shorts on the Bronco and they shared them. We linked them to each other's pages on Instagram and got a lot of views on that, which I say thank you. And we're going to have those guys on the next couple of weeks. I wanted to let their life settle down after SEMA a little bit, let them get in, but they're going to be on the show, and we're going to get to talk to Derek and his wife. But sales figures, now this is something, obviously Allie knows sales figures. She pays attention to stuff, being a dealership for Ford. She works at a Ford dealership. I mean, I'm not saying she pays attention to Jeep, but as a whole, the company is, if you look down there as a whole, other than the Compass, it's all been in the negative percentile there. If you look at that, and we look at the Gladiator right here, bring it in there, down 21% year over year, and the sales, they keep tanking on this thing. Now it's still selling about 40,000 a year, which in my book, for that kind of a vehicle, I think that's probably a pretty good number for that vehicle. It's not the 150 to 200,000 Wrangler sells, but I don't think that's, for such a strange vehicle, I don't think those are actually bad numbers. Now this year in quarter three, let's see, they're 9,000 for quarter three. And they were at 14,000 this time last year for quarter three. So you definitely can see there's a big change in this. But Allie, I know for you, when you're selling a vehicle and people know that there's changes coming, they tend to hold off buying, right? There's always that one person just goes, hey, I just want a deal. I'm willing to, if it's a 24 Bronco, 25s are getting the rear AC vents. They might just be like, I just want the Bronco and it's a deal right now, so I'm not going to wait. But there's always those people that know the vehicles, the real enthusiasts of that vehicle. I think they were willing to wait.
I'll say people are hesitant, but they're also not willing to wait like too long, because like Ford's made themselves notorious for not doing a launch right.
Right.
So it's just like one of those things, like, yeah, I think people are hesitant to a point, but it's not like a end all be all.
Right.
Because honestly, most people can be persuaded to get one.
I don't know. I really do think that with Gladiator especially, there was the Wrangler, they got the bigger screen put in. Of course, Ford has forced the buttons to Jeep a little bit on some of the things. Jeep wouldn't have ever put a larger screen in that thing if they didn't have to. Ford just said, F it, we're going to put the 12-inch screen in the Bronco. And, especially, oh God, what was it? I can't remember that Ford really pushed the button on, that Jeep made a big changeover. But I think for Gladiator, though, I really do. I think 24 was kind of a weird year for Gladiator, because the 24 changeover for Gladiator happened, but you couldn't get any. I don't know if it was a parts issue or what was going on, but yeah, it's been a mess.
Parts issue.
Yeah, right. It is always a parts issue. But so Allie, you said the Bronco is sales are starting to, for 25 kickoff.
Mm-hmm. Not to make this political, but ever since the election, things have definitely picked up a lot more than we anticipated. It's been kind of nice, to be honest.
I bet it has been kind of nice. It didn't matter who was going to win the election. I think at some point, the Fed's starting to cut interest rates, which has to be, especially for the car industry, a blessing to hopefully interest rates by spring just start getting cut a little bit, because spring, I know when I was in the car sales business, spring was the best time for car sales. People are getting out of their house. They're excited, especially you snow people in Michigan. Yeah. That definitely
you take out your summer cars.
Well, but right. you're wanting to get outside, maybe start kicking the tires on the lots and stuff, I assume.
Yeah.
And hi, Kelly.
Hi, y'all.
Hi.
No, I wasn't planning him a surprise party. He doesn't do that. He doesn't like those things.
Nope.
He's a Debbie Downer like that.
Yeah.
It's just another day to him.
Yeah. Walter says he might build a Gladiator for SEMA. Of course, when Walter and them build something, it's pretty fancy.
But yeah, I know that we're looking forward to potentially lower interest rates too, because I know on our Raptor we would like to drop a little bit of that interest rate.
Sorry, Laura. Sorry, we would like to drop that interest rates if possible.
Yeah,
because we went from way low interest rate with the Bronco
Yeah.
a little higher, but
Yeah.
it's, I mean, financially it's worked out okay for
sure.
us, but
in general.
And of course you ladies both have new Broncos.
We do.
Allie, how's your Bronco treating you? And by the way, we're going to get back to the Jeep stuff, but your new Bronco treating you all right, Allie?
Yeah, I like it.
Do you
still
wish
miss Bucky, but
do you wish though that you, knowing there's like some changes for 25, do you wish you would have like, oh shit, I should have just waited a little bit longer? I know you were in a situation where Bucky the lease was up.
I ain't paying those prices. I'll tell you that right now.
Right.
She said no 25 prices for me.
I mean, I had the option to extend and I didn't. The thing is, I will let them come out with their changes. We have the new digital display.
That's my one. We're gonna have a 5 good 5 bad on a Raptor. I will say, of course, you guys will probably watch it anyways, but the digital dash in the Raptor is the great thing about it, and it's also kind of one of the things I don't like about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't like. I would like one, but like I don't need it. So It's just like it wasn't a performance thing for me. Like, and I have my my US Speedo like dashing. So I'm like, I can't even have that next year. So it's like I wanted to enjoy it one more time.
Yeah.
Sure.
So that's just, again, it's just, I think because like I work around them all the time, that it's not just like, obviously when Bronco came to market, like obviously I had to have it, but I haven't had that like feeling that I had to like drop everything just to get that car.
Yeah.
Before. So.
And of course with yours, I was telling them earlier, we were starting to put some mods into it. The biggest one right now has been the 67 Designs Bronco rail. Having my, like, you forget how much we took for granted in your Bronco rail that we had your phone mount for yours. You take it for granted till you don't have it. And I kept leaving my phone in the car.
All the time.
Yeah, I would put it up in the dash and it would sort of blend into the dash. It was awful.
Yeah, and many times I had to go out and get it.
What's funny though is I put that in the Bronco this weekend, and she goes to just throw it in the center console, and I was like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "Oh shit, yeah, I do have this."
Yeah, you're just used to it. Like you're used to putting it in a different spot with that, contact charging.
Right.
And yeah, it's definitely we got a few other things done this weekend on it that have been needed to be done.
Yeah. Of course, we'll have a video popping up on that, but kind of back to the sales figures of Jeep and the Gladiator, especially. Kelly, we had a Gladiator.
We did.
It treated us fine. We had one slight little issue where we thought we had a ball joint that went bad. Could have been, I don't know. I think they replaced it anyways just to make us happy. Other than that, the thing was pretty.
I think they thought it was a hub, and they replaced the hub on it.
Okay.
But we thought it was the ball joint.
Yeah.
And they couldn't duplicate it, so they just replaced the hub on it.
Yeah.
And so we were just like, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, because it was still under warranty and everything else, and it just wasn't worth the fight. My mic was just fine.
Okay.
I don't need it to be right in front of my face like you do.
But the Gladiator is a pickup truck. We did pickup truck things with it. Now I took the top off a few times, and which was kind of a pain in the butt, really.
It was.
The freedom panels were easy, like they are on any of the style vehicle, but the back part of it, you had to walk it all the way down the bed.
Yeah, having put the rally top on the Bronco that we put it on, it is definitely a different experience putting a hard top on a Gladiator than it is putting it on an SUV, because you don't realize how stressful it is to take it up and take it over a truck bed until you actually do it, and you're afraid you're going to scratch it the whole time or drop the hard top or any of those things.
It's right here. Here, let me pull this thing away for just a minute. It's you literally have to just walk it back down the bed here, and it's like
awkward.
an L. It's an L shape.
Yeah,
it's awkwardly heavy. It's not balanced very well.
Yeah.
But having it off on a pickup truck, I always thought was fun. And I say it a lot, and I still mean it, that it was fun that you can have a vehicle like that you can go to Home Depot, pick up all your landscape supplies, whatever. And it did what it was supposed to. You take the doors off. The doors were easy. I still say the doors were 100 times better on that to take off than they are the Bronco. I'm scared to take the Bronco doors off of the Raptor because you don't want to scratch the damn things. But the Jeep, you can just grab it by the window seal, pick it up, put it where you want to, and you were done. Now, I will say the storage of the Bronco doors is a lot easier.
Yes.
But it seems to be like a toss up on that. But we dropped a video one time where I showed literally taking the doors off of both. And I had people going, well, you're biased to Jeep or you're biased to Ford. And I was like, I must have did a good job on that video because they thought I was biased to both of them.
Right. Both sides of it.
Yeah. But I mean, I know you took it to Florida and you've documented this many times how it was not fun to drive on long distance.
And that's not me saying that as a Bronco person. Like I said it when we owned the Gladiator and we didn't even know that when we were ever going to get the Bronco. It literally, the seats were terrible for the trip. The girl, like we had 2 13 and 14-year-old girls in the back and they were uncomfortable. And my girlfriend that we had in the passenger seat, she was uncomfortable. So like we just had like, it was just not. And when we were driving down, we had left after work one day. And so we were trying to get as far as we could. And once the lights went out, once the sun set, it was that much more uncomfortable driving because with that straight axle, it is not as forgiving as the Bronco is.
I always say it, you participate to drive. You don't like a lot of people forget with independent suspension vehicles, they just track where they're supposed to. You can just lightly hold the steering wheel. It's going to do what it's supposed to, not with a Jeep Wrangler or Gladiator. And I think that might be for people that want a mid-sized truck. That might be part of the problem is they expect it to drive like a modern truck, which it's modern to an extent. It's an off-road beast, you know, for a mid-sized truck. It really is. It's probably the most capable mid-sized truck you can get, really.
Right.
Especially for rock crawling. But there's a give and take to that. And unfortunately, I think sales are starting to show that people tried it and it's either Wrangler people that tried it and was like, you know what? It's probably not for me. I like that it feels like home, but I kind of like the more nimble Wrangler.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. You definitely feel it when you're driving it. And that's the reason why I don't drive a manual is because I want a little bit more ease when I'm driving. I don't want to be stressed out when I'm driving. And I did feel stressed out when I was driving in those long trips. Now, granted, around town, it was fine, all those things. And like to Dave's point, if we wanted to go to Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever and pick up stuff to work on the house on, we had the full truck bed, but it wasn't not for the long haul for us. From that perspective.
Of course, we had a Willys edition. So you had it was a pretty nice vehicle. I like the cloth seats. I thought they were very durable, just super uncomfortable. I've heard that the leather seats are night and day difference. They're just a lot more comfortable. But we were talking earlier that Allie said, people were, Ford needs to build the Bronco truck. Yeah. And it's like, just, I've told you, I'm all in for that. And because we need a truck, but we don't need a big truck. It would, for our lifestyle, would be fun for a while. We would own it for 6 months or so and move on. But I think Ford's over there going, hey, Jeep, thanks for taking a hit. Thanks for testing that market share and proving that
100%.
Yeah, maybe it wasn't there.
So Walter.
Oh, there's no comparison, buddy.
Walter says, how would you compare the driving of Gladiator versus a Ranger Raptor? And I'm not saying this as a Bronco owner. I'm not saying this as an appreciator of Ford. It has nothing to do with that. It is literally, they are night and day vehicles.
I don't even think you can compare the two, honestly.
You can't. Like, it's such a different driving experience. Now, I would say that I think in theory, if you're talking about off-road with the Gladiator versus the Ranger Raptor, I don't know. Like that's I
don't know. Maybe. I feel like Raptor suspension won't even compare.
Well, it depends. If you want to go rock crawling, I'm taking the Jeep. Now the Jeep that we took it to Windrock one time and unfortunately got hung up. One of our Bronco people had to pull us out, but it was a learning issue for us a little bit. The length of this thing was pretty long. And we got hung up on something that the more nimble smaller wheelbase vehicles didn't.
And it was also stopping me from accelerating.
And there was some stuff that if you're not a Jeep guy, you just didn't know how to deactivate some of the nanny features.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not talking like a simple, here's a button, do you deactivate it? No, you got to know the sequence to push stuff to deactivate this stuff. Yeah, I mean, it was nice. Ours came with nice Firestone Destination MT tires, nice, capable MT tires. It was nice. It was something that we would have probably tried to put on it, but we didn't need to because it came with it. Out the doors, ours was right at $50K, including tax.
Yeah.
Nowadays, that's not really a bad price.
I don't think you can even touch it for that.
I hate to say that, but well, no, I know you can't because look, we have one pulled up right here, and they're starting out at $38,695.
Yeah.
Now that's a 25, but there's no way that you can find anything that you would want. Of course, the Mojave is the kind of desert running ish vehicle, so that would compare to the Raptor a little bit. But no, Raptor. If I was going to take it rock crawling though, I'd have to have 35s under it. The 33,
for sure,
the 33s were very limiting.
Yeah, because we took it at an event this spring. We actually took it off-roading, and it didn't have the clearance that I expected it to on the 33. So it definitely would need 35s to really kind of compete. What size tires did our Gladiator have on it?
32s.
32s.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's comparable from that perspective. But yeah, they're really just two different vehicles. Like you're definitely expecting different things from them.
Yeah.
But the Raptor, the Ranger Raptor was very capable when we off-roaded it this spring.
I look at that as speed. When we took the Ranger Raptor to the dunes, I would not have wanted to take the Gladiator to the dunes.
No.
I don't think it would have handled, especially like on the drag strip where me and Laura kept racing. Oh, the front solid axle of that would have had you all over the place.
I was gonna say you'd have been on one side of the it just wouldn't have
it wouldn't have tracked very well. Yeah. Now you would have went up to the dunes, you would have had a blast with it. Don't get me wrong. I do think too the engine in the thing is just anemic. It's just enough. It's got just enough power that you don't feel scared to get on the highway with it. But at no point was I ever like, man, this thing will get up and go.
Yeah.
And that's part of Jeep's problem too, is them and Toyota love to, we don't
put
need
just enough in there.
Yeah, we don't need to go all the way.
Yeah.
We're good enough with that. But look at the lineup here. So here's part of I think the Gladiator's problem. And I think it's a lesson that Ford and Toyota have learned real quickly, that we don't need 100 different models. I bitched at Ford for a long time about Bronco. Way too many models from the get-go. Way too many models.
Right.
And they trimmed it down. Now they brought the base back, which I think is confusing now because people are like, well, I'm seeing it again, Allie. I'm seeing people go, well, it's just the Big Bend. And you're like, can you not please anybody? Like you wanted the base name.
Yeah, you can't make everyone happy.
But look at this. So we got a Sport for $38,000. Then look at the next price, a Nighthawk, which who the F names a truck the Nighthawk? That's the dumbest name I've ever seen in my life.
Why are you so hater on Nighthawk?
It just doesn't sound like a truck name.
I actually kind of liked it.
Well, and that's fine.
No, I know, but I just thought it was funny when you were like,
So it's not a classic, it's not a classic lineup name for them.
No.
Sport, for the Wrangler Sport, your Willys and so on. But then you have the Sport S, which was sort of the kind of entry level, like early, and then the Overland's gone. I haven't even noticed that the Overland for 25 is just gone. And then you have the Willys starting out at $45,000, which is what we had. But that's with a soft top. So definitely you add the hard top to it, which is not super expensive, but it's going to add to it. And then a couple features that we had, like the winter package, heated seats and all that. The
convenience package.
Yeah, I bet money we might build one in just a second. I bet money it's stupid expensive. And then here's the stupid shit to me of the whole company in general. You got
how you really feel.
You got the Mojave and you got the Rubicon.
Dave's swearing now, guys. It's over.
Sorry. No, but Mojave, Rubicon. Okay, we know what those are.
Right.
Well, they got greedy. Now we need to upcharge and call it the X. We got the X trims, which is
it's $10,000 more. It better be.
No, but you used to get a lot of those features in the Rubicon that now the Rubicon X has. they just stupidly priced this, and I think Stellantis knew that Jeep is like printing money, and they gotten way too greedy with it.
So what is the difference between the X and the other? Or well, let me rephrase that. So what is the difference between the Rubicon X now and what the Rubicon was before?
The roof, painted roof, stuff like that, better sound system. You get the Alpine sound system, just small features.
So that's new to X versus what was in Rubicon before.
Started last year, but yes.
But that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So like you said that you've pretty much taken the thing.
Let's just look real quick. We'll pull this up real quick. So as always, you get one free color. I
actually kind of like the firecracker.
Oh, I love that. I wanted that color badly, but I don't think at the time in the Willys we could get it. Let's see here. As you can see, it does have the painted roof on that.
So did the Rubicon lose anything when the Rubicon X came in?
I just think it was you had a base, and they kept the Rubicon more base features, which are still for a Rubicon fairly nice. But if you wanted that loaded, you wanted like the heated seats and all that stuff. I think they're sort of forcing you now into that. So and audience, don't hold me to it. Jeep people, don't hold me. I haven't researched 25s yet.
And he wasn't ready for these questions.
Well, we're talking generalities here, but yeah, I mean, no, let's see the interior. Of course, you're getting the nice big screen, which is pretty standard.
Which I like this. I like this generation of the screens much better than the previous generation.
I'm happy they didn't shove it up like Tesla. Yeah, so happy about that. But ours, we had the 7.5-inch screen, and I think 8-inch was the next standard size.
But I think it's smart of them to realize who their audience is as well, because you can't take a screen and put it up and still want your audience to be able to off-road this vehicle and still and not lose your sight, because that's super important in off-roading.
Yeah, I'm just quickly going here. The biggest thing is 3.6 versus they know there's a 4xe coming on this thing, which is
4xe Rubicon X.
Well, 4xe and Gladiator's coming, which is kind of a bummer to this thing, because you're going to lose that 3.6. And like I just said earlier, the 3.6 is anemic as is. It's not, it's not, I won't say it's a bad engine, but it's just not like 285 somewhere horsepower. Just not enough. And especially if you're now comparing off-road truck. You got Raptor, $58,000. What does a $58,000 vehicle get you here? Probably the regular Rubicon maxed out, whatever you could do. So you're getting front and rear lockers. You're not getting the horsepower at all. Sure, you can take the top off.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people like, doors off. But if you want...
And it has a soft top.
Yeah, if you want the most capable vehicle, I still think that for daily use and adventure use, I think the Ranger Raptor is better. You've got the GMC AT4X, comes with 35. You can get 35s with that,
which I was extremely impressed off-road.
Once again, the only issue with that is the motor for me,
and the on-road was not that great.
And then you've got Chevrolet, Colorado, the Bison, or now Toyota's coming in there once again, and Toyota's going to win out with name alone. They're going to win out.
The Tacoma
over this, Tacoma.
Sorry.
But
I always confuse them because they're so close.
Yeah, and then Frontier. And Frontier's that little truck that could. Its sales are actually fairly good.
A little truck that could.
Yeah. I mean, Nissan's doing the best they can, man, with that little truck. But so the idea of this being I always call it the Swiss Army knife.
Participation trophy.
Yeah, right. But this is the Swiss Army knife of trucks.
Yeah.
It doesn't do anything great, but it does everything. It does a lot okay. Where if you stack this against, say we stack the Rubicon X next to the Ranger Raptor we had. Our Ranger Raptor, other than a couple options, I think
features wise, yes.
Other than like the wheel, the beadlock ready wheels, I don't think there was many options you could get. I got the sticker package, which whatever.
Graphics package.
The radio is much nicer in it. The sound system was great. The B&O sound system's great. The Alpine system in these, I will say, is very nice if you want a nice sounding radio. But it's just it seems to be about $4,000 overpriced. But so you look at the issues they're having with this vehicle, and you go, okay, well, they're cutting 1,000 jobs in Toledo, mostly due to this vehicle. the writing's got to be on the wall for this, right? If they're cutting jobs, which they don't like to do, like there's not going to be a Gen 2 of this, right?
I don't think so. I don't think you're going to see a Gen 2 of it.
And cutting jobs, not to interrupt Gladiator talk. Chevy is cutting a bunch of jobs, and now the UAW president is like flipping shit.
Well, he's going to flip shit until they get rid of him.
Okay, you guys want it all. Okay, that's like a talk for another day, but still, I'm just like,
well, you can't have all the money and then expect these companies not to make adjustments.
Exactly, and that's like the thing. Like, I'm not saying like I hope people get laid off. That's not what I'm saying, like at all. But like, even though we're having profits, like all the money has to go somewhere.
100%.
Like, you still have costs. Like, you can have record years, but I'm sorry, look how much everything costed. I'm not talking about cars. I'm talking about food, gas, supplies, everything, clothes, like you name it. So it's
and here's the thing. And we've said this for years, and we're not going to get political on it, but if you think about all the increases that everybody's wanting and everything, they're wanting more for less.
Everybody.
And yeah, everybody wants more for less. And
if you say that you don't, you're lying.
We're all guilty of it. We all want more for less, right? Because we want to be able to spend that money somewhere else. Yeah. But at the end of the day, things cost a certain amount, because guess what? If I'm getting paid more money, my company that pays me has to make more money.
Well, there is a balance to profit. And if your wages go up, that scale just moves up. Everything just moves up the same percentage.
Because guess what? Everybody has people that they answer to that says, how much money can we make out of this? And I don't want to take a cut if we're giving these people more money, because why should I have to pay? So it's just a vicious cycle where we're continuing to stack. And I don't think everybody kind of thinks about it that way, because they just think right now, I want more money and I want this. And
but they don't have to on a daily basis though.
Right. For sure.
Yeah. But with this, we've got 8 models there.
Yeah.
And of course,
but they wanted to be like Ford.
Well, I mean, I get it. And some of that's greed. They want to.
Well, they want to corner the market as much as they can, and they think if they continue to put more vehicles out that they're going to get more of the market share, and that's not always the case, because there's only so many people that want a Gladiator.
But manufacturers like to play a price point. Oh, it's only we'll do a $2,000 price point.
Well, because it's all marketing.
No, but at the end of the day, by the time you get to the top of the vehicle, everybody wants the top line. I'm very guilty of it. I didn't want the most plain Ranger Raptor. I wanted not the most expensive, but I wanted the features I wanted.
Right.
And I wasn't going to compromise. Our Mustang GT. I was going to do a GT, just a regular GT, and Allie's like, "Well, with the money you're saving,"
Allie talked us into a GT premium,
a performance package premium, which one after I got it.
There, ladies and gentlemen, it's called an upsell.
That's right. That's right.
It was a great upsell.
Allie was high-fiving her sales manager the day.
To be completely honest, that makes like maybe $10 in my commission.
We're just messing with you.
And in that vehicle, it made total sense, because that's a hot rod vehicle. You want all the hot rod parts. But with like here we have, this is the
I was actually very proud of myself, because like as soon as I put all that together, I'm like, why would they not just get this since they're spending it anyway? Yeah,
my wallet said thank you too, Allie.
Welcome.
I was trying to save money there. No, I trust me, I really enjoyed it. I was talking today about that car, how much that's the car I miss.
Yeah.
I don't like, I love the Ranger Raptor and I would own that truck again in a heartbeat, but I don't miss it.
Yeah.
I miss the Mustang. I really do. I miss my fall drives. I would wake up on a Sunday morning early and just go drive,
because the whole rest of the house would be sleeping.
Yeah, I could go do what I wanted to do. And but so here is the Willys edition of this thing, and I just want to quickly
minimize that.
Oh yeah, sorry. I want to quickly just run through this. I want to put a hard top on it, because this is basically what we had. And if I can find the winner package,
I will say their Freedom tops are done much better than the Bronco tops.
I would like to see the new one.
I was actually talking to someone or commenting on someone's post yesterday about it, I think.
That's interesting. So 49,000, and I think ours was $45,000. I've got I still have 44. The window sheet. No, it was 45 because I remember with taxes it was right at 50, about $5,000 taxes. So yeah, from 21, which ours was, to 25, $5,000 upcharge. That's a lot of money.
10%.
Yeah.
Is that of the convenience package or the cold weather package?
Right. They call it the convenience package now. It's right there.
This one.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just look.
Oh, she's looking.
I think it has the active safety. Or
no, we
ours
didn't.
had.
We didn't have any of that. We didn't have any sensors on it.
Okay.
Okay.
Marital Nation's coming. I can feel it. We did have bedliner.
I'm over here working on my little spreadsheet. That's about
it. So yeah, we had bedliner. I think that was really the only other kind of upcharge on it. So we're probably right at 50 now. Yeah, 50, 55, 50.500. So, and we had Snazzleberry, which would have been an upcharge in paint. Mm-hmm. But no, like it was like the front that you can see right there in the build, fun. we and at the time we really wanted to buy a Wrangler, but we just couldn't find any at all. But yeah, no, a good truck. I think they built a good product, but I just ultimately, Kelly, I just don't see this thing surviving. Yeah, I think they run it to death. Like before Jeep, let's see, 18s when they refresh, so probably 27s when you're going to see the next generation of Jeep Wrangler. I don't think it makes it to 28. I don't think the truck does. I think they'll run it out like most manufacturers do. Stamping's paid for now.
Right.
Just run it.
Get your money out of it.
It's this is, even though they've only sold, let's see, I've got the sales figures up here somewhere. Oh, there they were.
That's another thing when people don't understand is when they develop a vehicle, they do plan is how long or how many vehicles do I need to get out of this for my return on investment as well.
Yeah, so we've sold, over 200,000 of these things, almost probably maybe 3.
So they've only done 32,000 this year.
This year, yeah, sales are way down on this thing.
Almost half.
Sales are non-existent.
But also, 23 interest rates were still not fairly reasonable, but they were higher, but they weren't where they are now, I don't think.
No, but what's the excuse in 22? 22 had 77,000.
Well, you're coming out of COVID.
And then 20 or 21 had what, 88?
Yeah, look at 21's.
I mean, honestly, coming out of COVID started like record numbers for a lot of us.
Oh, for everybody. People said F it. We want to buy what we want. So 21, interest rates were below 3 for a lot of people, not everybody, obviously. So that would explain the almost 90,000 they sold there, and you couldn't get Wranglers. So okay, it's the next best thing, which was for us. That's how we chose a Gladiator. I wanted the Gladiator anyways, but you guys wanted a Wrangler. And that's why we couldn't get a Wrangler. I remember I was by the dealership. I'm going to do a walkthrough of our local dealership for a story I'm working on. But you couldn't, there would maybe one Wrangler on the lot and there was like 10 Gladiators.
Well, and the Wranglers were $10,000 or $15,000 more than the Bronco the Gladiators. And it was the exact same truck, just in a truck versus a Wrangler. And it was just crazy.
Yeah.
Like what the market was. And I, as a numbers nerd, look at those numbers that you just put up there. And I immediately can make that into a graph in my brain and know that's not good things.
And the thing, and like, okay, yes, we all know that I like Ford. But honestly, if they keep up and I'm talking about like across the board, if they keep up the numbers that they're doing, like there's not going to be much of a company anymore.
No, there's not. And they still have people that they have to answer to and all the things and make the numbers work and everything else that goes on with it. Yeah, unbridled Bronco. Yay for brain graphs. She gets it. Because it is like, I legit looked at those numbers and I went, wow, if I'm Stellantis's like marketing team, I'm scared to show people that graph.
Well, here's the company. This is Jeep. Total sales. This is Q3. So Q3 just ended. So Wrangler 35,000. Okay, that's respectable
for the quarter.
Yeah, so they're down. If you can see here, this time last year they did what 126. They're down 113.
Pause that thought for just a second. So Wrangler did 35,000 in the quarter.
Yeah.
And Gladiator has only done like 37,000 in the year.
Yeah.
I'm laughing with them.
Oh yeah, it's like what 4-1 they're selling.
That's crazy.
That's bad.
That's bad.
But part of it, I'm not trying to make excuses for them because I am beating the vehicle up just a little bit. But for 24, you've not been able to get the updated. It took forever to get the new grill, the updated version of it. For some reason, it just took forever.
Sorry, I'm looking at the numbers.
But look at so Wrangler's down 14% from last year. Okay, that's
and it's down 14% from last year, and it's still almost selling exactly what the
Gladiator's
did
down
in a year.
35%.
That's
now,
painful.
We know a lot about the Nissan Xterra.
Mm-hmm.
When Nissan killed the Nissan Xterra, it was selling about 15,000 a year, and that's when they decided to kill that vehicle off. So I think 40. If they could do where we at this year, so 32,000.
They're at 32,600.
If they could do right at 40,000 this year, I think that's reason to keep it around. I really do. I think it's still. You look at the Nissan Frontier is going to do 60 to 80,000 somewhere in there. So that's not bad.
So let's see. Okay. So they've done 32,670 year to date prior to Q3. I'm assuming this is not partially through Q4 because we are in
this
Q4.
This is year to date. So this would be the end of Q3.
Yeah. So the end of Q3. So statistically, if they did, let's just say they did, what are they? 32,000. So if they, on average, they're doing 8,000 a quarter, which they were up a little bit in Q3 over, but they could potentially hit 40 by the end of the year if they have the sales in their Q4 like they've had in their previous quarters.
And they did 41 last year, so which was down 21% from the previous year. So you do see it is sliding. Now, that being said,
21% is a lot.
Oh yeah, well 35%.
Like in 4 years, you're looking at
you're almost
close to 100% of a cut down.
Not 100.
If you're looking at 21% a year.
Well, yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. No, but they peaked at almost 90,000 in 21. So yeah, no, you're almost half of your sales.
Yeah.
Now,
huge decrease.
Yeah. So hey, Bronco people, if you really thought they were ever going to build a truck, I'm telling you,
it's not happening.
Because they'll go on these. They'll look at these statistics.
Oh, 100%.
They'll look at everything else.
Yeah,
100. You don't think Ford's like eyeing that like a hawk?
Oh, 100%, and they should, because obviously that they looked at Wrangler, and we all know that there's a lot of things. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that we see in Bronco that that Ford looked at and went, that's a good idea. How can we make that work in our vehicle? So
or basically everything that Jeep kept saying, like, oh, you can't do it. Oh, you can't do it. Ford's like, watch this.
Right. Hold my beer.
Well, so 113,000 Wrangler right now. Let's see. I've got these sales figures for Bronco here that I can show you. So what did I say? 113.
I don't know.
So I don't have a total here though for that. So let's see. Let's just.
What are you looking at?
The total number of sales here. So what we got?
For the year?
January.
9821.
All right.
10707.
All right.
11037.
All right.
7677. 9933. 10579. 13449.
13 what?
449.
All right.
25,798.
All right.
8805.
8805.
And 9382.
9382. So that's 107,000.
And what is this number that you're talking about?
This was
what sales are these?
Yeah, 24.
No,
this is Bronco.
That's what I'm asking.
So these are Bronco sales figures right there. So Bronco has almost caught Wrangler.
Well, Bronco doubled their numbers between July and August.
Right. But the Jeep Wrangler, as we're beating up on Stellantis, the Jeep Wrangler used to sell 200,000 a year.
Yeah.
And for Jeep to go, oh, that's not really ever affected our sales. You're like,
talk about splitting the market share.
Yeah, they really have.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, Ford's rebate, to help GP, like persuade Jeep people to come over, definitely did help.
Well, but you were seeing people even before that, right? So you were seeing people leaving Jeep and coming to Bronco before that rebate came out. So honestly, when I heard about it, I was kind of shocked that it was out.
Well, there's on Bronco 6G right now. There's a Jeep guy that's 2 years with his Bronco now, and he details it's a pretty good article that he wrote on. I mean, he's had some issues with his Bronco, but he has a 392 as well, and he says the Broncos is daily. Yeah. He's like, yeah, I mean, and we've said it many times. You start that V8, that just makes you purr.
Had like someone trade in their 392 for a Raptor.
Yeah, but that's fun. But he prefers to drive the Bronco.
That's interesting to me on the 392, Allie.
Zach says here, if I remember right, wasn't the Gladiator meant to be a limited run? No, not at all. They do never. No company will ever go, hey, let me reframe something for a limited run. Now there was talk of a new Dakota coming, but I've yet to see that. I had a picture early on in this channel. I had a picture from testing out in Arizona where they were testing what looked to be a small 1500 Ram, and my buddy that sent it to me was like, no, this thing was tiny, a Maverick size vehicle, but they've just never produced it for some reason. What else we got going on here? Allie, Laura has a good point. You know, part of the problem with this was the EV mandates that the current administration, which will be the previous administration in a couple months, they forced everybody. They were really pushing hard for EV, which has really fucked up these companies, all of them in general.
Here we go.
It really has messed up all these companies because guess what? EVs lose money. We know it for a fact. Tesla is the only profitable EV company. So
I actually had a guy argue with me. He's like, "You guys aren't losing money to sell this car." I'm like, you should see.
Yeah. Even dealers lose it because after 60 days, you guys start paying interest on the cars, and then you're losing money then. But so somehow they have to pay for these EVs, Ford with the Mach-E's and the Lightnings and all that. Jeep and them are way behind on EV tech, even though we do know there's the Ram Rev and stuff coming. But to pay for that, they got to make these other cars more profitable, and that's part of why Jeep and including Bronco, the fun style vehicles are going more expensive. Is we have to take the profit from this to lose money over here.
Right.
Yeah, it's literally just moving money around.
Yeah, and
it's robbing Peter to pay Paul. Is how they
to
say
break
it.
even. And I saw yesterday we were looking at Ford's website. You can get a Mach-E now for like $300 a month, a lease. And I think it's like a 2-year lease. It's something silly that I was reading on Ford's website.
They're pretty cheap right now.
Yeah, which is.
So I guess that's going to be your daily.
Which it was very tempting to me to go. You know what? I could do $300 a month and that not bother me, and it would get us in an EV, which we have to adapt to anyway.
Right.
But
and you get a free charger right now.
I know. Allie's like, come on, I got like a handful of these things. I need them going.
Actually, right now, no, I don't.
You don't have any Mach-E's?
You got any Lightnings?
We sold out of all of our Mach-E's. We're getting a couple. We just actually, I don't know how I wasn't there when our rep came in and talked about the program. It's basically we have fulfillment centers kind of around. I think our closest one is Chicago. But basically if we want something, they have a list of everything that's available, and we literally just click it and then they deliver it to our dealer.
So it's like Amazon.
It's literally like Amazon for cars. It's really cool how it works, because we actually just for shits and giggles, we tried it. We're like, hey, let's see how this works. And it was right before these programs hit. So we're glad we got the flash when we did. Because I actually sold it to my customer. But it was here in like 2 days, and it was literally like kind of like Kelly said, it was like an Amazon for dealers to get these electric vehicles. It was actually kind of cool.
Well, I mean, it's all in programming, right?
Yeah.
Like I mean, we've seen that in the Bronco with ForeScan and all the things that it's the ability to unlock all the things that were not part of your build, but you're the ability that you're able to unlock it with ForeScan. Like that's really what we're seeing here, because it's no longer the vehicle has this capability because of this part that's on it. Or, I mean, you still see that, but there's a whole lot that's unlocked with just the swipe of a mouse. And so that doesn't surprise me that it's not a pick and play, like Burger King, have it your way type thing of like, here's what I want, check this box. Okay, Amazon uploads it and sends it and delivers it.
FORD, have it your way. You rule. Yeah. So, yes, Walter, you should, if you need a Ranger Raptor or anything Ford products, you should go see Allie. Definitely. You're in Vegas, so getting it there.
He's gonna message me about one, but
let's see.
You missed one.
Sorry.
Kelly, you'd be so proud of the Excel sheet I'm putting together right now. I literally want to bang my head against my computer.
Do you need my help?
That's after. That's what I was looking for. So, Allie, question is, how many Detroit Lions F-150s have y'all sold since the Lions are winning? And go Lions, by the way. That's your
backup team.
Dude, we're kicking ass right now. I'm so excited.
Me and Honest were talking, and that's Honest's second team. He was so pissed off at my Bengals last night that he put little Joey B up there. But no, he goes, no, the Lions are my second team. He goes, I'm just gonna start pulling for them.
The thing is, like, I've always watched them. I've never gone to an actual game. Never.
Dude, live football will change your world of what you see on TV versus.
I haven't been to Ford Field, but I went to the Silverdome. Yeah. Like that show.
I've gone to concerts at Ford Field.
Yeah.
Yeah, we remember she sent us a picture. She was having a good time down on the.
That's right. I remember that
at a country concert.
That's it.
That was fun.
Yeah. So how many of y'all sold?
I know y'all had one.
Nah, 8. We've sold 8 so far.
What?
Have you seen an increase
8
since they started?
Wait. You've sold 8 of these goofy, like, if you like it, more power to you, but you've sold 8 of these things that just have a lion sticker on the side.
You must not be friends with many Michigan people, because oh my gosh.
Go Buckeyes.
They're wild.
Like the Lions amount of people.
And I'm happy for the Lions crowd.
She's like, hi.
She's like, I'm still here.
No, but it's like, I don't like, because I didn't grow up. I know we've talked about this on the show before, but like, I didn't grow up with such an obsession with the Lions or even the Tigers.
Because they've sucked for 30 years.
Well, or the Tigers for that matter. And like, we really liked
Hey, Tigers had a good year too, okay?
No, but her dad. Now my
dad, on the other hand,
he really doesn't care about the Lions. He's not a football dude. Your dad is a baseball
My dad
guy.
is a baseball guy. Like, he's gone to fantasy camp multiple times.
Yeah. Her dad will want to talk baseball with me. He goes, hey, your Reds are doing this. But the Lions now, let me tell or the
it's a gateway.
The Tigers, let me tell you.
It's a gateway. So the question is, have you sold more since they began winning, or have you just sold, just in general, 8?
Well, we can't really answer that because they came out with these this year. This is a this year thing. They've never done this.
Oh, that's true. But forgive my ignorance, because they've
never offered anything like this to us before.
I haven't been watching Lions football this season. Have they been winning all season?
Yeah, they're 8-2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't watch.
Yeah. They're going to the Super Bowl unless they really F up. They're going to the Super Bowl.
The extent of football I watch is with you.
Do not jinx
this Bengals football.
Dave. Do not jinx this for us.
No, I'm. Trust me. I was for y'all last year. I have a little. I saw it the other day. I had a little banner.
I think as of right now, I think if they keep it up, I think we would be playing Kansas City.
Oh, that'd be painful.
Nah, I think Kansas is going to fall apart at the end. I really it could be the Steelers.
I don't know. I kind of like them, but at the same time, I just think, I don't know, they're kind of getting overrated.
Well,
go to the start question.
That's football talk. That's Football Nation. That's a different channel.
Yeah.
Let's see here. What do we got here, Kelly?
So Deal Me In for a 2024 says, let's talk about the factory dealer built 700 horsepower batch of Hell F-150.
Yeah.
Oh, I just posted a video on that.
I got to see the thing in person with the flat wraps that they're doing on this. Wow. They look so good. I love the special details and badging that they've done on these things.
Badging.
Stinking badging. But here's wrapping up. Bronco sales are catching Wrangler, which is good. Sorry. But to kind of beat up Jeep one last time, I feel I know there's a lot of Gladiator people. Our friend Shocker Racing has their Gladiators for sale. They've done a major amount of work on that, and they're still trying to get 40K out of that thing. I, unfortunately for them, do not see a way they get 40K for that with the way sales are tanking now on this thing.
40K for what? I'm sorry, I was reading.
Shocker Racing's Gladiator they had for sale.
Yeah.
I
it's
think
a beast.
Yeah, I think the IO Cincy Cycles
unacceptable.
No, I got to put that up there. That's
he said that. Okay, we're going to digress just for a second. Where were we yesterday?
Oh, that was dumb.
Where were we? We were at Lowe's.
Yeah.
We were at Lowe's yesterday, and this lady's walking around with a Buckeye shirt on. And Dave goes, OH. And she just looks at him and smiles. And I said, you'd have done better if you'd have said go Buckeyes.
Like she had no fucking clue.
No, she didn't. She had no idea what she was wearing or no idea what he said.
Yeah.
She's like,
I wanted to slap
okay.
her. I wanted to slap her.
Yeah, she was probably in her late 50s, early 60s.
Well, we got a football update here. Douglas Blair says that the 17-10 right now.
Who's
Texans
playing the Texans?
I don't know, but I got to check my fantasy football now because I'm my helper at work. I'm supposed to be beating his ass. So fantasy was brought to you by IAG Off-Road. If you think of fantasy football, you think of aftermarket, you think IAG Off-Road. That one was for free, JJ.
Cincy Cycle says Bronco hardtop getting installed tomorrow.
Oh, congratulations! Hey, it's going to change your life. Now you're going to worry because you're like, shit, is these hardtops going to hold up? But it's a night and day difference, especially for Ohio area. Oh, I'm killing them. 126, 109. Take that, Brooks.
Not the dog.
No.
His helper's name is Brooks.
Houston's playing Dallas.
Oh.
So, because it's going to be here before we know it, who's excited for Supercell?
What's that? Nobody cares about the Supercell.
Hypermotive Racing said nice try, Dave.
I really am
you
just
missed
like
it, Allie. I was talking
on, like, spring stuff.
I talked Supercell before you got here.
Well, I got home late and I had to talk to my cousin.
No, I am
trying to figure out holiday plans because I just got screwed out of my holiday plans.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving holiday?
No, Christmas.
Oh,
what kind of?
You're welcome to come.
What kind of plans did? What is a Michigan holiday for Allie? What kind of plans you got?
Typically I go. Well, I have a split.
You usually go up north, don't you?
Yeah, I typically go up north because like I have to spend some of it with my mom, some of it with my dad because my parents are divorced. So it's really just American. It's me driving all over Michigan, making everybody happy.
God's country.
Speaking of that, typical American, are we doing our daughter a disservice by not being divorced?
Are you trying to divorce?
No, not at all. Not at all. I'm just saying, like, should we mentally fuck her life up too?
I will say that she actually has.
Wait, she's trying to get us divorced?
No, I was just gonna say, most of the people she hangs out with, their parents are still together.
Weird.
Maybe it's a Michigan thing.
No, I'm divorced.
No, there's quite a lot down here, but no, like her best friend, her parents are divorced, but otherwise, I'm trying to think of who else. Like, out of the 6 people I can think of that she has like close friends,
they're all together,
still married. Weird. 5 out of 6.
That's
not
acceptable.
But Corbin is a child of divorced parents.
I know. My son is.
So, I mean,
you raised him.
It's true. I stepped up.
He's a mess.
Thanks. And so's our daughter.
Yep. Let's see. So yeah, no, definitely we gotta start talking some Supercell because I'm getting pumped.
We booked our cabin.
We did.
Same.
And we talked to Alan with Diabolical was not going to be there. And now suddenly he's going to be there.
So we booked our cabin before Alan was going to be there. So
yeah, I think he was complaining to Tom about that at Supercell in Colorado.
About what?
Well, it's because
something with Jeep or something like that week or the week I don't know.
Oh yeah, so they figured it out. So Rochelle so his wife and I think it's his son will be going.
What?
His wife and his son will be going to the Jeep thing, and then he will be going to Supercell.
There you go.
So it works out. Yeah, so we will. So, Allie, do you have any news for Supercell yet of anything that you can share that people should be planning for or anything like that?
We're doing a sticker swap, and it's going to be bigger than last year.
Well, now that we have a hardtop, we're into patches. Sorry.
Yeah, and patch swap.
I can't do stickers anymore because probably I hope Alcione took the stickers off the back of that thing, but I'm not doing that to this Bronco because we know we won't own this Raptor forever.
Yeah. Just know that they were loved.
They're very loved.
They were very loved where they were. So
we're patches people now.
Yeah.
Patches come off.
Patches are back.
We've started putting patches. So we'll kind of wind down with this one, but so Kelly used to be upset. Well, I was too. We got obsessed with patches.
It was his fault first.
Yeah. But we got obsessed with we've started tracking certain companies that made particular patches. And what was it?
What?
Mr. X?
Mr. X is one that I
like who makes them or like who to get that? Like
no, it was a company.
Yeah, so back in our day, Allie, like
back in our day,
2020. No, was it that? Oh yeah, because it was before that. So like 17, 18, patch game was big.
Oh God, yeah.
Like I have patches that are in my Bronco now that are not worth anything. That some of them were worth $300, $400, or $500 at a point. I did not pay that for my patches.
Jesus.
But they were worth that at the time because it was a supply and demand type of thing because they only made so many. So there were companies that were making lines of patches. Like there was a company called Mr. X that did a whole bunch, and like his theme was like classic art pieces, like Mona Lisa, Starry Night.
Yeah, Starry Night.
Van Gogh, all these things, but they were made into patches.
Yep. So here's the group. We used to do a lot with this group.
Yeah, we used to do a lot in Patch Traders. But then my favorite one was actually Life's a Trail, and I'm actually still in the group. And it really is just finding adventure and things like that. And so Life's a Trail does these like teepees, and they do different scenes and things like that. One of my favorites actually is an Aurora Borealis in this like teepee.
So I was actually thinking of making my new sticker with an aurora in the background.
That's cool. That would be cool.
I need to think of something. I still don't have a name for this damn thing yet. Like, I don't know.
Laura said, nope, they're still on there. So the stickers are still there.
Laura, 32,000. I'll come buy that Bronco back.
Don't even.
Yeah, no, but like this here, like we spent way too much money. Like you thought you get obsessive about Kelly would obsess over release times. And
because there was limited edition.
Yeah, they would do like 200 of these certain patches. And one literally she has Starry Night, and it has a wooden frame that you bought that came with it.
No, I didn't buy it. It came with it.
That's what I'm saying.
That was part of the edition.
That it's a separate patch that you put over it, so it has its own frame.
Yeah, so it has its own frame, and it's a specific frame to that one. So like they could be interchangeable with other patches. So like it would fit with the Mona Lisa or it would that, but you knew which design went with the Starry Night.
Yeah. Since E-Cycles, all these have Velcro on the back of them. And
I recommend. So we did get one at Supercell or something that had a DIY patch on it.
Oh, it fell apart.
Or DIY Velcro on it. I don't recommend doing those because it actually the glue ended up like melting in the heat and it ended up completely falling off. So highly recommend if you are doing patches to just spring for having the Velcro already
I had a
part of
bunch
the
of
process.
a bunch of the Legos that I liked.
Mhm.
Some were not appropriate.
A whole lot were
but
not
we got
appropriate.
we got into because they were collectible, so we
Yeah.
were buying this
Soccer,
stuff.
something not appropriate with Dave.
I know, imagine that.
I know.
Wild.
But they had the golden Tiger Works was the ones, the
Yep.
honeys.
That's
That's
the
the
ones you
ones
did.
that I liked. But like Kelly said, we had an Xterra that she could have sold for $300 at one time.
Yeah.
That I paid $20 for.
Yep.
And now it's worth probably $10.
Yeah. But it's like we've got anything from like our blood type to like sayings, like our t-shirt or our t-shirts that we wear, to
which I've
beautiful trees.
I have Nissan Nation podcast patches.
Yeah.
And I've never done patches for All Terrain Nation. Maybe we should do a patch.
We should do this.
Well,
And a
I've
patch.
thought
We
about
should
that.
do a patch.
Yeah.
But anyway, so
somebody
Alex,
asked if we know what our name of our Bronco is yet.
yeah, Ghost.
Did you drop
I don't
the
know
video?
if we did. Well, I never put it in the video, but Ghost.
Way to go, Dave.
What?
I
Now you
think I
dropped it.
knew. Oh.
I feel like we've talked about this already.
No, we've not said the name. We said it
Anyways.
was coming in that video
Yeah.
and you didn't even drop it.
Well, Ghost is the name of this the Raptor. And it's because normally we name it after
A show we're watching.
TV shows we're watching, some character or something about it. But our vehicles have basically turned into shuttle service for our daughter's softball.
I considered naming it Beth
Really?
from
You
Yellowstone.
didn't tell me that.
It just came to me
Well, then how did you consider it?
because Beth's a badass.
But we've named it. It's Ghost.
Yeah.
And it's because our daughter used an Easton Ghost bat. And I thought,
Yeah.
well, it kind of goes with it. You want that murdered out look.
And
to
it's
it.
in her ghost bat that she has currently is a black and red one. So it was kind of fitting. Like got ghost.
Game
Of Thrones ghost. Mm-mm.
No.
2 episodes in
Wait, you're just 2 episodes. Wait. What?
Yellowstone. I'm assuming.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Love Yellowstone.
I haven't got. No spoilers.
No
we haven't
spoilers. We haven't seen We haven't seen
The
since
new
the
season.
season came back.
Yeah. 1883 will make you, especially having a daughter, make you cry.
Oh my gosh.
Boohoo.
Can't even.
And we'll still watch it again. And I know what's coming, and you still boohoo.
Mhm.
1923.
1923.
Yeah, that one should be coming back soon.
That's my favorite out of all of them.
I love the way that one was written. It goes together so well. So like, yeah. No,
Don't spoil if you've seen this season.
I have seen. All I'm gonna say is Jamie's a little bitch.
Well, that doesn't surprise me.
He makes me so mad.
Does not surprise me.
I hate him.
Now I kind of want to rename the Bronco.
No, we're not renaming the Bronco.
Maybe
Sorry.
I should name mine something like from Yellowstone.
Have you named yours yet?
No.
It can't be Beth.
Can't be Beth.
No. I like her though. She's sassy.
Yeah, she is very sassy.
She's a
My
bad-
mom would have loved that TV show, especially
Oh
the
my god, will you
1883.
please watch it? Because oh my gosh.
We're
please
gonna
watch
watch it.
it.
Don't worry.
We'll watch it. We just haven't had time.
Story
Oh,
of my life.
You don't know
As I
this.
just got done with my spreadsheet and now I can actually have a normal conversation.
So I have to see your spreadsheet before we go in the green room. We'll talk about it in a second. But
The VIP super private room that only Patreons and VIP members get to go to.
so
We haven't had Jordan in there in a while.
I know. I miss Jordan. We hadn't had Jordan. I bet a year.
as if I wasn't doing enough with the board,
Oh God.
I'm now their webmaster. I'm officially the webmaster.
You have a whip and leather you wear.
Yeah.
The webmaster.
I'm officially the webmaster for our board, so that's fun times.
You can come to the webmaster.
Like it wasn't even a question. Like they were like, "Does anybody have any what'd they say? Any recommendations on who?" And it was like my name was thrown out by like 7 people. So yeah.
Rob says, Al, you should name your Bronco Dan.
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 No.
Just random, Dan. But yeah.
People go, why Dan?
Like, what is
Because
that? It's like, don't worry about it.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, anytime. Anyway, so I took on more.
Yeah.
Needless to say that.
There you go. That's what we do as the Boyds. We take on more.
We did actually have a conversation at our softball, though.
So final question to the group. So obviously, auto journalists here. Kelly's wanting to get into more writing. And now our website currently is just a place. It's a placeholder.
Now he's calling me out.
I am calling you out.
It's been in our record.
It's a placeholder, basically. It's the yellow pages, like to get you to come to the website,
right,
or to YouTube. We're wanting to start really kicking in the website, and Kelly wants to write articles. There's certain journalists I want to hire to write articles for us. Would that be something you guys are definitely interested in?
Or is video more still up your alley?
See what you did there?
I'm sorry, Laura. You have to be at least a $10 member.
Wow, Dave. And he was just kidding about the green room.
Yeah. Though we are going to bring back the
members
only chats and the Patreon chats again. You know who we've not seen in the chat? Steve P from Phoenix.
We have not.
Oh yeah, he hasn't been in here.
Steve P, what's going on, buddy?
I was messaging him the other night.
I know for a while his schedule was weird because like he could jump on for a couple minutes and then he'd start driving home or something.
Oh, Dan for the Lions head coach. I got it. That's why they said Dan Alley.
Douglas Blair says, ouch, and you bought a Bronco from her? No slack.
Oh, no slack. Sorry. It's a cruel world, Douglas.
Oh, that's true. And Peugeot isn't here either.
We haven't seen
him. He was
him
here a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, well, he's
he was like,
who's in Peugeot?
Wasn't he in like Japan or something?
I don't know what he's doing.
For a while.
Who not in Peugeot? What's the other dude? Old.
Now, had you not asked?
We're losing the old schools. We're
not as exciting anymore.
Well, sorry guys. Have to talk everything now. Allie doesn't like it. I know. See her eyes pop right up like, yeah, motherfucker. Yeah, I know you don't like this shit.
I told you I hated Jeep.
Hey man, I'm hating on Jeep today too, even though we've owned their product.
Mobile Moto.
Yes, mobile.
Actually, so I've driven a couple of theirs, like especially for like lease turn-ins and stuff, and like they've been Rubicons. There was 2 4xe. There was a Gladiator. I just like, and it's like a half. So it's like I'm in Brighton. The one I return it to is White Lake or one in Chelsea. So it's either a half-hour drive or over an hour drive. So it's not like I'm taking this like 2 miles up the road and like calling it a test drive. Like, no, I'm in the car like for a little bit. I just like, I don't really have anything positive to say.
Yeah.
And like, I kind of feel bad because like I try and I like mess with it and stuff just to see. And I just like, I don't know. It's just not my cup of tea.
Where's Eric? We hadn't seen Eric in a while either.
He was there a couple weeks ago.
Was he?
Yeah.
Last thing, Kelly, I put it over on your armrest over there. What do you got going on? I think Allie's going to be super jealous of this. Here.
Hold on, my thing froze.
Hold on. It is the 2021 Ford Bronco AMSOIL.
What?
We got it at SEMA.
Yeah, they were giving them out.
Yep.
I want one.
Unbridled Bronco got one too.
Rub it in.
What did y'all have to fill out something though, didn't you?
I had to scan a QR code and give them my phone number.
I don't give them my freaking phone number. I won't.
I give out somebody else's number.
Well, here's what's funny is the guy in the booth, he goes, oh yeah, and we're giving away Jeeps too. And we're like, you have a Bronco in your booth, and he pulls it out because Bronco. Jess,
that's when you know they're just paid to be there,
right? Tell me you're paid to be here without telling me you're paid to be here.
Of course, Jess also had what was there? A backpack had a Jeep on it.
Oh yeah, so she needed a bag because we let the boys carry the backpacks. And we just like put our hoodies in it or whatever because we didn't need to carry bags around. And then she had a pink poop donut that she had to carry around. And so she got a free bag from one of the booths. Well, it had a Jeep on it. And she was like, nope, Not happening. So she turned it around, and so that it was the blank back of it. So
That's
nobody
hilarious.
knew. She needed a donut bag.
That's fantastic, actually.
Yes, Laura, you would. And actually, it's kind of funny because I actually used Life 360 to find Dave a couple times. I didn't think about the air tag. I could have just tracked his backpack.
Finally, my back's feeling better from that. Here, Allie. Here's the
pink poop.
I had an air tag on Maya the first year of Supercell.
So there's the donut that she was carrying around.
Oh God.
Yeah.
It didn't look like that at the end of the day, though.
Well, it probably looked more appropriate. Well, there you go, guys. There, we picked on Jeep a little bit tonight. I still like Wranglers. I like the Gladiator. I would own another Gladiator. I know for you don't like it, but it was practical for us. So what we use a truck for, but it's not in the cards right now.
Oh, that's right. Mark says the guy in the AMSOIL booth was their online analytics guy. I remember because you guys nerded out together.
Nerd alert
about the analytics. No, because he was actually asking, was like, do you guys use the website? And Mark was like, yeah, I have. And then the guy was like, well, what do you use it for? And then he went into this whole like nerded out spiel about how he uses it to compare all these things and all this stuff. And the guy was like, oh, cool. And then Mark was able to give him, feedback on here's what I would do differently, yada, yada, yada. I called him the research guy. All
right. Last thing. I mentioned this last week, but I don't think we showed the picture. Kelly got so excited in Vegas over a freaking Chevy Cobalt.
I actually have a reel coming on it.
Oh, God. Her first new car she purchased, and somebody hot rodded this thing.
Yeah.
So, speaking of
it was just cool to see some nostalgia there.
Yeah. So remember the Miata that had the Lambo engine in it? That really wasn't a Lambo engine. It was a Chevy engine in it. Yeah, TFL did a whole thing on it in their podcast last Sunday of like how cool that was. And I was like, clearly you guys didn't hear the whole scoop of that. How
the after effect.
Yeah, they had to move this Lambo or this Miata out of there because it was getting so much hate.
Douglas Blair, if I could make us get 1 million subs just by using stats, it would be my full-time job.
Yes. I would like to hit 15,000 subs before the end of the year, and it's probably not going to happen, but it's my goal.
Maybe.
So maybe.
No, it was green, Laura.
Maybe if you just send it a couple times, we would get some subs.
I'm not a send it girl. You know that.
Booty shorts?
No, this booty is not going in booty shorts.
Okay. I'm just trying.
You want to keep the 15,000 or the 14,000 subs we have?
All right. So first of the year, let's push Kelly. Everybody push Kelly that we're going to start writing articles. She really wants to do it, but she's scared that you guys are going to pick on her writing style. So,
wow. Why don't you just put it all out there?
I did. I just put it out there. Maybe we can get Allie to write. Allie writes for Bronco Driver. Or have you written anything for Bronco Driver?
No, I'm writing for Bronco Nation.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Bronco Nation. So maybe we can get Allie to write something positive about Broncos.
Maybe.
Think she would do that?
Maybe.
Yes, Mark can do the booty shorts.
No, Mark's going to do a kilt.
If I do an article, that means I want a Bronco car.
Wow. Oh. I don't know that you're getting Kelly's Bronco car. That's a tough sell.
That is a tough sell. Very tough.
Dun, dun,
Very
dun.
tough.
It'd be terrible.
It'd be terrible.
Terrible.
So in the comments below, if you're watching this after the fact and you've made it this far, I commend you. And just remember too, when these things relaunch, because YouTube, they upload them after the fact, and you see 400 ads, that's not my fault. It's because YouTube looks for breaks in the algorithm and they put it in. I have to go in after they upload the video and delete all the ads. So I try to keep it about 4 ads on an hour and a half. So just remember, that's not us being greedy. That's YouTube being silly. So in the comments, if you made it this far, let us know something silly in the comments. I'll read it. Trust me. Thank you, Douglas. Douglas, would you like a job as a manager of this?
That's what I went to school for.
Yes, I bring in the my management team, and she takes over the show.
No, sorry. Somebody has to manage it better.
That's right. So since Douglas reminded me, let me copy this.
Nope, you just copied the wrong thing.
I know.
X. Escape. Hit escape.
Thank you.
Escape again. There you go. Now Control C.
There we go. All right. So in the comments below here, I'm putting our Patreon for a video guy. Come on, man. You're better than that. You're better than that.
How
Tim.
dare you be busy?
But there's our Patreon. I would like to get. So if you don't know, Patreon really funds a lot of our trips. We're right now, I think at like $135 a month is what the support is. We would like to see that up. If you ever have the ability, want to support us that way on Patreon, especially over memberships here on YouTube.
Like Douglas Blair said.
Yes. Man, Douglas, would you like to do this ad for me?
He said no, he's retired.
Oh. But anyways, Patreon gives the creators a little bit more fair shot at the money.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we use that money, we try to save that up for Vegas or whatever we go to. And next year we're going to have to slow down if memberships and stuff don't.
Yeah.
I hate to say that. And that sounds, I'm not pushing pressure on people, but we've been losing money. The channel loses money. Trust me. I'm about to write a $10,000 check that the channel's lost this year. So I'm going to have to ante up on that. And so if you guys ever would like to support this channel, Patreon is the way to go on that. So use the link there. But we do. I finance everything on one. We have a business credit card. And unfortunately, this year we've done $10,000 worth of travel and expenses for the channel. So anyways, so there you go. The share is kinder to them. Yes, 100%, Douglas. I mean,
it's crazy.
If you just like the easy button for memberships here, we appreciate that as well. But as a whole, membership and everything is down. I think a lot of Bronco people were supporting the channel and they've gotten their Broncos, probably sold them by now.
Yeah.
And, if you like what we do here, it's an easy way to support us. If not, and I don't ask for money. If you just would like to support the channel, just go ahead and help out that way. And maybe you can help us send a new armadillo to Allie that way. Because
oh my God, I sent an armadillo live talk to Jess the other night. I'm on armadillo TikTok.
Oh my God.
I didn't know that was the thing until Jenna, was it Jenna or was it, I think it was Jenna Tippy sent the video and it's in a group chat of me, Laura Baston, and Laura from Bronco Nation, and Jenna Tippy. And we're just watching this freaking armadillo. There's 27 kinds of armadillos.
Good Lord. Somebody's went down the rabbit hole of armadillos.
Dude, his name was Croissant. He was so cute.
His name was what?
Croissant.
This is Croissant. I'm an armadillo TikTok.
Good Lord. All right, so we were at
in our chat. There it is.
I was at Hobby Lobby the other day. We were looking got some Christmas decorations coming up for the studio. And I saw this. And we'll end with this. It's an armadillo ornament.
Actually, I saw it and said, "Oh my gosh, that's an armadillo." And then Dave took a picture and sent it to Allie.
I died. Look, it even has blue eyes. It's so cute.
And he's probably full of leprosy and everything else that armadillos carry.
I don't give a shit.
You would if you died from it.
Well, I lived a good life.
Wow.
So there you go. In the comments below, if you've made it this far, let us know. So whether it be 2-wheel drive,
4-wheel drive,
or these badass cars, trucks, whatever you drive, I don't care anymore, man. I'm 3 drinks in. This has been your All Terrain Nation. I'm your host, David Boyd.
I'm Kelly Boyd.
And we got Miss Allie Du Bois over there, and we are out. Peace, everybody. Love y'all.
See you.